Okay, so let's dive into the story of how Bangladesh, one of the most populated nations on Earth, is trying to pull off an incredible economic transformation. It's a fascinating journey, and really, it all kicks off with this one huge idea. At the absolute heart of everything is this powerful national ambition. They call it the Golden Bangladesh Dream. And the vision isn't just about growth for its own sake, it's about becoming a central player, a real hub in the entire Asian region. It's a super bold goal that shapes pretty much every big decision. And hey, this dream isn't some fuzzy, far-off idea. It has a hard deadline. The whole national plan is laser-focused on turning Bangladesh into a fully developed nation by the year 2041. Now, you should know, they're not exactly starting from square one here. This vision is being built on an amazing foundation of really rapid growth that's already pulled over 20 million people out of poverty. It even helped the country hit lower middle income status way back in 2014. So the momentum is definitely there. But of course, a goal this big, well, the path to 2041 is not going to be a straight line. It is filled with some major hurdles that the country has to figure out how to get over to keep things moving. And this slide right here, this visualizes one of the biggest challenges: energy. I mean, just look at those numbers. The economy is overwhelmingly powered by gas and imported fossil fuels. Renewables, they're just a tiny sliver. This creates a massive economic vulnerability, making them super sensitive to global price shocks and supply problems. So what you end up with is this kind of a perfect storm of challenges that are all connected. That power crisis we just saw, it leads to these disruptive national power cuts. They call it load shedding, that can literally shut down a factory for hours. Then you've got logistics bottlenecks adding costs and delays to trade. And as if that's not enough, the country is graduating from least developed country status. That might sound good, but it means they lose key trade benefits and suddenly have to compete on a whole new level. Which really brings us to the big question, doesn't it? With a population of over 170 million people, how in the world does Bangladesh even begin to tackle these huge, complex challenges head-on? Well, the answer is starting to take shape in a few key areas. So part one of the answer, it's a massive digital transformation. You can think of it like a new kind of gold rush, and it's completely reshaping the country's economy from the inside out. To give you some scale, just in 2023, the e-commerce sector alone was worth almost $7 billion US. And what's wild is that number, it still only represents about 3 to 5% of all retail sales. Just think about the incredible potential for growth there. And you can see here, it's not just one thing driving this. It's like all these different engines are firing up at once. You've got more and more people getting mobile phones and internet access, a huge explosion in digital payments, the rise of social media as a place to shop, and, crucially, the expansion of logistics to actually get the stuff to people. This slide really gets at one of the most fundamental shifts. For years, e-commerce was stuck because everyone relied on cash on delivery. But now, with the widespread use of mobile wallets, like the super popular Bcash, you're finally building the trust and the efficiency you need for a real digital ecosystem to take off. And this digital shift isn't just happening on your typical websites. With so many people on platforms like Facebook, social media itself is turning into a massive marketplace. It's kind of blurring the lines between just hanging out online and actually shopping, letting people discover and buy things all in the same place. Okay, but a booming digital economy needs juice, right? It needs reliable power. So to solve that energy crisis we talked about earlier, Bangladesh is now making a really strategic and frankly necessary pivot to a greener energy future. That heavy reliance on fossil fuels, it's become a really urgent, practical problem. The power shortages and the crazy price swings are basically giving industries a powerful reason to find another way. It's forcing them to get serious about renewable energy, not just for the planet, but for their own survival. And the potential solution is just immense. I mean, look at this number. Studies show that the country's 724-kilometer coastline has a gross wind power potential of over 30,000 megawatts. That is a staggering amount of clean energy just waiting to be tapped. The big takeaway here is that this isn't just talk. Real, tangible steps are being taken. The country's first big wind power plant is coming online. The government has set a really ambitious goal, 20% of all power from renewables by 2025, and the central bank is even creating financial policies to back green projects. Now, sure, challenges are still there, like where to find enough land for huge solar farms, but the transition is definitely happening. So you've got this digital revolution and this green revolution, but They can't just happen in a vacuum. They both need a strong, modern foundation of actual physical infrastructure to stand on. I mean, modernizing the physical routes for trade is every bit as important as building the digital ones. And we're seeing huge projects like the deep dredging at Payara Port, which now lets much bigger cargo ships dock directly. That cuts down time and costs for the entire supply chain. And a huge focus is on solving what's called the last mile delivery puzzle. That's the super critical final step, getting a package from a local warehouse to a customer's actual front door. Nailing this is absolutely essential if you want to unlock e-commerce growth beyond the big cities and out into the rural areas. So, when you put it all together, you can really see this clear three-part strategy taking shape. Step 1, digitize the consumer economy. Step 2, harness green energy to power it all reliably and sustainably. And Step 3, modernize the physical logistics to connect everything together. Which leaves us with one final big question. These digital and green transformations, they're speeding up like crazy, but can the foundational work, the logistics, the infrastructure, keep pace? Can Bangladesh build that foundation fast enough to overcome its hurdles and actually realize that ambitious golden dream by 2041?